Take a walk down by the sea, picking up colored shells in the sand.
Well, I finally left DR. I was supposed to leave early this morning. I went into Customs and Immigration, paid all my fees, and I was there 54 days. So it cost me, I think it was roughly $40 to stay in the harbor, and another 2,500 pesos for immigration, for whatever that was. It was for extended stay. And then I said I'm going to leave the fall. That was yesterday. I said I'm going to leave the following morning at let's say 6 a.m. He said no problem. Just go up and get your despacho. So he worked the Navy, try to get your despacho. And he said, well, if you're leaving in the morning, you have to wait till 7 a.m. and we'll issue your despacho. Okay. And show up at 7, and the Navy says, oh, the guy's not here. His name's Richard. He's not here to give you your despacho. So they could have actually started the paperwork, because it's just 2 handwritten forms and stamps. And then Richard could have came along and signed it, but no. Come back at 9. Come back at 9. Richard's there. He says, just 5 minutes. I gotta go run something to somewhere or whatever. Comes back in 20 minutes. Finally got my dispatcher, so I got left around 10. Just trying out my new rigged whisker pole on this boat. It's a fair amount of flogging, unfortunately. The wind hasn't filled in. Hopefully this whisker pole allows me to do more downwind sailing. Okay, now, as of this recording, right now it's actually behaving pretty good. So the wind is starting to fill in, but it's kind of getting off the coast now. So I'm going to Great Tenagua because they have clearance. Check in there. I was going to go to Iguana, but apparently the Customs and Immigration is not there anymore. So anyways, Great Tenagua. And they also have a place to pick up a SIM card. So I'll do that. That's important to me, is to have a data plan. And the nice thing about, I think it's BCT or Flow, you can actually put your credit card in and top up over, and even if your plan's expired, to do a daily plan or a weekly plan. I use a lot of data, so I can easily blow through their 3 gig plan per week, or it's just not realistic for me. I like to stream data. I like to watch a lot of news, and I've been watching a lot of news about the coronavirus, so that's got me concerned. Just on the news yesterday and today, we were talking about closing borders. Well, the U.S. potentially could close borders at any time, and even exclude Bahamas, and that's where I'm going. I want to go from Bahamas into the United States, and then go up to the coast back to Canada. And then I hear some MPP from Quebec is saying, well, maybe we should close the border between U.S. and Canada. Oh, Christ, that's nuts. But being a Canadian, I'm hoping they would let me back in. The concern is I have to traverse a fair amount of ICW, or I may have to, depending on weather, and also I have to go to New York, the Hudson River, and hopefully they don't stop boats from going up and down the river. And then lastly, there's the Erie Canal. There's quite a few locks there, and that's a huge manpower, and they really don't make any money off that. Actually, it's free right now, so they're not making any money off that. So I don't know why they would even, if the virus is spread all across New York, and that's Erie Canal, those canals may actually get shut down. So I was thinking, should I leave the boat in Luperon and just fly back to Canada? Once I go back to Canada, if I don't have a boat, I don't have a place to live. I have to rent an apartment. Anyways, lots of concerning issues. My least concerning issue is sailing right now, so I'm enjoying doing that right now. And it's a beautiful day, just could use a little more wind. Usually there's too much wind or just no wind, so that's how it is. Never one happy medium. Well, the seas were actually pretty calm this morning up until about 2 this afternoon, and then the waves and wind picked up. The wind was almost directly on my stern right up until 2 o'clock, and then it shifted to, now it's actually apparent wind is right in the beam, so makes for a quick sail. Sometimes I do 8 knots, just these driven waves are pushing me along pretty good. Yeah, maybe 5 or 6 feet. So as I came in, the harbor master says anchor just out in front of the marina, so that's what I did. I've got to wait for customs and immigration to come to the boat. But this is island time, and they probably are not in the office right now. But anyways, it's nice and calm in this anchorage. It was blowing like 20 knots out off the coast, but in here it's nice and calm. So there's a few boats there, lots of room. Looks like there's med mooring, a couple of cats, and trawlers and monohulls. Not sure how the docking is going to go here, but I do see some mooring balls stuck out in front of the, it's just a big wall. I don't know if it's cement or it's definitely not floating, so anyways, looks like a beautiful day. It was a long sail. Usually I only do 24 hours. This is the first 24-hour passage. Or sorry, 48-hour passage. And I managed to get some sleep, but wow, do I ever have deep sleep at night. I was hoping that I could maybe get some sleep during the day, but no, I was wide awake yesterday afternoon. And of course in the morning there was just hardly any wind. 10 knots apparent from the stern. So then whisker pole out, and I was maybe doing anywhere from 5 to 6 knots. More like 5. So I was a bit concerned. The first day I was just flying, and then the second day in the morning, wow, it was pretty slow. But 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the winds piped up, and it was on the beam or just behind the beam, and phew, I just flew. I mean, at some points I was doing over 8 knots, which is kind of scary. I didn't really need to be doing 8 knots, and that was with a double reef and half a jib out. The following seas were really pushing me along. I was fairly comfortable. This boat really doesn't track well when the seas are kind of hitting you kind of on the hind stern quarter. Kind of wants to wobble a bit, and autopilot corrects that, and then of course it heels over and
you're doing a lot of that. Some people get really upset about that motion, and it did bother me when I first started sailing this boat downwind. I didn't like that motion, but nothing you can do about it that I'm aware of. Anyways, I think maybe a heavier boat, full keel or whatever, bigger boat might, a cat would even be nicer for that. Little ski boat. I don't think that's coming for me. Apparently they have to bring in some dogs to sniff for explosives and drugs when you arrive and when you depart. Oh man, I think I need another shower. Actually had a shower yesterday morning while sailing, and the boat was going crazy. Kind of hard to balance yourself in a tiny shower, but it was so hot at one point, and then in the afternoon it just cools right down. As soon as that wind pipes up, when you start moving north, or get out off one of these islands, it really cools off at night. I wonder how the Bahamas would be, but anyways, Bahamas is not an option now. Probably just as soon as I leave here, spend a couple days, whatever, check the weather, then head over to maybe Veradero. I think I can do Veradero in 2 days. I could stop at a few little anchorages there, but what I've kind of come to the conclusion is I can stop and get a rest, but then you've lost a day. But if you got a good weather window, just go for it. And yeah, it just depends on the weather, I guess. The bummer is I don't the Wi-Fi connectivity here in Cuba. You have to go to a hotspot and pay for your internet access. You just can't go and buy a SIM card easily. I think it is possible for tourists to get a SIM card, but I'll tell you, it's better to bring your own working, roaming SIM to Cuba just for checking weather. Unfortunately, I lost my my company phone was disconnected, so that was something that was working well for me when I didn't have a local SIM card. I would use the company phone just to do some downloads of Windy or Predict Wind or Chris Parker. But yeah, you really need to figure out. I think maybe that Google Fi might be an option for somebody else to check out, but I'm not going to do that. I'm heading back to Canada, so I don't really need to look into that. When I get to the States, I'll probably get an AT&T unlimited service. I found that pretty reliable along the coast of the US, and I was able to watch Netflix and unlimited, whatever you want to watch, right? Kept me entertained. Anyways, it's been 45 minutes now. I think it'll be more like 2 hours wait here. I should probably get a nap, but I've already had 3 coffees and really don't feel like napping now. I want to get to shore, and apparently the marina here sells Wi-Fi cards, and I'm so shocked that they would even have a hotspot here, but if they do, that's a bonus, because I need to make a call. I need to call my Tay and see if she wants to bring me some money, or I'll have to go into Guadalajara to get some cash to pay these people. So we're leaving the Iberostar in Holguin province of Cuba. We're going to another resort actually, but this particular resort, everybody is leaving. Everybody
is leaving. All the tourists are leaving. Everybody's trying to get home before the borders close from whatever country they're from. So everybody's in a scramble trying to get flights out. Leaving early, I guess. Probably a smart thing to do. Unfortunately, when you have a sailboat, you're pretty well tied to it. It's like having a child or a dog, whatever. You have that responsibility, and you're tied to that boat. So now I have my boat in Cuba, and the weather's looking pretty good for travel, but I'm not ready to leave right now. Not quite yet. Looking at some of the postings on the internet, now I'm a little bit concerned about getting back to the States. I didn't realize how serious the new Trump administration changed the laws. I'm just wondering if maybe I can't even bring my boat back to Florida from Cuba. Gotta do a little bit more research. I may have to swing back over to Bahamas, like Bimini, clear in and clear out of there, and then go over to West Palm Beach. That's a drag. It's like $300 to clear in and clear out. Anyways, it is what it is. If I made that mistake, then it's a price I have to pay. I really just wanted to zip up to the east coast of Florida and probably get quarantined or whatever, but it is what it is. Gotta slowly make my way back to Canada.
Take a walk down by the sea, picking up colored shells in the sand.